Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, and I'm still sitting here. We got so much slime now because now this thing is spawning slime like crazy.
Yeah, I killed a few minutes ago. Actually, I broke them into mini pieces and then walked away. So I left them.
Those are the guys that attacked me.
Yeah, I'm responsible for that. Uh,
Oh, man. So, I am sad to say, since we didn't plan on you being here, we are now hosting a Halloween party this weekend.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So,
What are you gonna be?
I don't know yet. I don't have a costume, and therefore possibly nothing. I guess it's like a Halloween party and a cross between like my birthday party as well. That's what the wife wanted to do.
I could technically drive up, but that'll never happen.
Well, and then the ironic thing is too, the wife's sister is gonna move back in this weekend, at least for the weekend, because her rent is all done. I just found that out like an hour before we recorded.
Okay.
So that was brand new information anyway. And
Well, hopefully she doesn't stay long.
I'm like, good thing I didn't tell Guude to come on up.
Yeah. Well, hopefully she doesn't stay living there selfishly.
Well, I mean, it'd be, we don't mind if she does. I understand for a place to stay. She doesn't want to though. She wants to get her own place, but she's just so, and she doesn't know what she wants to do yet. And I don't think she wants to commit to anything, which rightfully so. She doesn't want to commit to like a year lease with something when she doesn't know if this is the area she wants to be in. She has a job where she doesn't have to be here for. She works every other week. She has to travel for it. And the weeks that she's here, it's not because she has to be here. She just has to be working because it's a remote job. But she doesn't even know if she wants to have this job anymore. She's looking around.
Is this the divorced person?
Or
is that your sister that's divorced?
No,
that's
my
your
sister's the one that's divorced.
Yeah.
No, her family is not. None of them have been married or have any kids or anything like that.
Okay.
No, my sister's the divorced one who she's now engaged again with another kid on the way. So we're gonna have we're gonna have little nephews like her, because her other kids are like 9, 10, 11, or 10, 11, and 12 now. I can't remember.
Oh, she's 3 already?
She's got 3 of them already, yeah. But they're older. So, my son is not going to be playing with them as children. Right. They're going to be the, more responsible older kids as opposed to, children. Now we're going to have, for one, my current son, it's going to be about a 2-year difference, which is great. And then the new one, they're going to be just a couple months apart. So that'll be cool. If I ever go back to Michigan to see them on a regular basis. That does make it kind of hard.
Yeah. So does your parents still live in Michigan?
They do.
Okay.
And
so she lived near them?
Moving anywhere out here, and they actually get upset with me on a regular. My mom does, at least. She gets upset with me because they don't get to see the baby. I don't know. It's weird because I understand it, but I think in their minds they think that I should be moving back closer to them or should be visiting them more, as if it's like easy.
Right. It's pretty far away. What the drive from DC to Michigan? How long is that?
9.5 or 10 hours.
Yeah, that's a long fucking drive.
Well, and on a
especially
plane,
with the
it's
kid.
only like an hour or 2 hours, depending on if we have layovers and stuff. But
yeah,
it's with still with a baby, and the fact that I live in DC. My life is in DC. You can't just pick up and go to a different state all the time on a regular basis.
All right. My mom's only 3 hours away, and I still only see her a few times a year.
Yeah. But does she care about you as much or the daughter?
I mean, well, the way you say that.
I mean, well, I said because I know my parents love me, sure, but they're not upset that they don't see me as often.
Yeah,
no, they're upset they don't see the baby.
Yeah. Yeah, something about becoming a grandparent suddenly. They need to see you a lot more.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the wife's parents, they come out pretty much every other weekend, essentially, it seems. Which is not, I'm not saying that as a negative thing. I'm saying it's a good thing. It's they're very helpful when they're here. The son loves them. They're good people. I like them as well. But it makes my mom extremely jealous.
How far do they have to travel?
They travel about 7 hours, but they drive it constantly.
Wow.
They also don't have any other children that have grandchildren and no other children that live in the state anymore. there's a whole difference in, they sure are still working full time and they go out of their way to do this, but this is the place they want to come because they don't have any other obligations there. My mom helps my sister take care of her kids as well sometimes because, the divorce makes it hard. So she'll go out there every couple of weeks. She'll go spend, a couple days and take care of the boys. She has obligations out in Michigan still with my sister and her kids to help out. Not because they're obligations per se, but she wants to help out, wants to be there with the family and all that. And she doesn't have those obligations with us because, the wife's parents kind of help with that side of the world. And my mom gets a little bit jealous of that piece. And it makes it hard for me because I end up getting stuck in the middle.
Right.
And I don't think my mom understands. And my sister, I've told you before, my sister's a little bit more of a her way is the right way and that's the only way type of deal. So if she has an opinion, you can never change her mind on that opinion. So my sister, I think, also feeds into that with her. And, Jeff should be, coming back more often. Why is he depriving you of, seeing your grandchild, type of
shit, at this point, Jack's not going to remember her anyways. So maybe
now is about the time when he's going to start remembering. But anything up until now, not at all. He was too young, and it doesn't mean that they don't still want to be there for him and all. And I know his grandparents on all sides of the family love him. Just because he sees one side more than the other doesn't mean the other side loves him less. I don't feel like my parents are not going out of their way to see the grandchild. I don't feel like that at all, and I know that some people might. I know my wife kind of is like, why don't your parents come out here more? Don't they want to see their grandchild? And I'm like, that's not the way this works. Like, so I don't feel like that, despite, other people might, but I don't agree with. But, it's one of those. I don't know. I don't remember how to make, I just made sticks. I don't remember how to make a shield.
It's a U.
Like a boat with an iron in the middle? Oh no, it's a boat
and then it's got a little
bottom.
No, the iron's in the U, and it's not a boat. It's got to be up at the top because you need one plank at the bottom too. Not plank, but plank.
Oh, it's like a hopper. That's why I couldn't remember it right. Got it. I got my shield. Woo! Check out my shield.
Apparently this woman you were talking about, she sold 2.5
Which
grams.
Am I talking about?
the one that was in prison and then escaped. So this is last episode coming back.
Okay, you remembered something about the story?
I did. I just remembered that it's strange since I never heard of her before, but strangely enough, I remember she apparently has only sold 2.5 grams of heroin and got convicted for 10 to 20 years.
Damn. And then she's back in now for how long after 30 years of?
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently she was on Oprah though.
While she was out, or since she's been back?
Well, no, yeah,
that'd be ballsy.
Just to talk about something else.
Be like, I know that I escaped from prison and all, but I'm gonna trust my instincts and go on Oprah and see what happens. There was actually a weird story, and I don't remember enough details about this one, but it was like a guy. I don't think it wasn't an escapee from prison, but he was a wanted person for like crimes of some type, and he ended up getting caught because people recognized him because he went on like one of those dating game shows back in like the
Jesus
70s.
Christ.
And somebody was like, wait, that's
some ballsy shit. Found him.
Oops. Yeah, I went all the way up to the top to also get another pick and completely forgot to do so. Yeah, that's a gamble, man. Like let's say, dude,
how fucking desperate are you and lonely that you were you're willing to go back to prison for a date?
Well, let's do this a different way. Let's say you robbed a convenience store. You did something stupid. Like, not even say robbed. Like, you did something stupid where you ended up being wanted in a state, and you knew you were wanted in a state, but you flew home. Like, we're at a convention or something. You did something dumb. They were looking for you, but you managed to get home, and you're like, just fuck it, I'll just never go to that state again, and we'll call this quits, wash my hands of this. What if the next day you got a call from Jeff Probst who said, "We want you on the next season of Survivor."
No, okay.
But
Well,
you
yeah, that's probably one of
knew
those.
that it was going to be like that. Your face would be out there enough that you were now going to get picked up.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I mean,
known.
you'd have to decline it probably, right? Because you know if you
But
do
would
that,
you?
you're gonna. Yeah, I think you would. I
Would
mean,
you?
yeah, I would. I wouldn't go. Now, if I'm going to going to prison, I mean, hell, if you win Survivor and you were a convicted felon that was wanted, you probably don't
But
even
they
get to keep
didn't
the damn
know
money.
who you were. They just kind of had your picture.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you got caught after the fact, you probably, even if you had won the game, you probably wouldn't be able to keep the winnings.
That's probably true, but would you take the risk?
No, that's a bad risk.
I'm just saying.
Would you?
It depends on what I did. How long was I looking to be put away for?
I mean,
I'll be
as much
honest.
as I'd like to
I
play-
don't. I would love to play Survivor, and I would love $1 million. I would love to play Survivor more than I want the $1 million.
I think most people that end up on the show, that's true. Like I'm the same way. I'd rather play Survivor than win Survivor.
If
I'd
I
like
won,
to win Survivor
awesome.
too.
However, the experience of playing is what I really want. So if I'm looking at like a small misdemeanor, I might risk.
Well, I mean, yeah,
it.
misdemeanor. But they do background checks and all that kind of shit on you too. So I feel like you were not even going to get past that process of getting on the show if you're wanted.
I mean, one would think, but then you find out there's like, random spies and stuff that have infiltrated our, government and gotten top secret security clearance jobs with the CIA. And I don't mean spies who are just trained to do that, but spies who had records like on file somewhere. And I actually don't even know if that's true. I've just heard of that before. I'm not 100%.
Are you talking about Donald Trump?
Yes, that spy Donald Trump back in his day. He was such a.
I mean, he could be working with the Russians. He could
I guess that
working with the Russians for years.
That's very possible. That's kind of interesting though, because I guess I don't know the answer to this. What if you elected somebody who was in jail? Can you do that? Is there any laws against that? Is there any constitutional?
Sometimes there's qualifications for being able to hold that position.
Is it?
Sometimes I don't know. I mean, it depends on probably what the office is you're being elected to. I guess.
I wonder where you could push the envelope with president. Like, what's the thing that is not technically a disqualification?
I feel like you can't elect a person in jail to president at least.
That's your mind tells you that, your memory.
Well, no, this is my opinion. I mean, I think someone that's like I don't think having a criminal record prevents you. Like, I think you can be a convicted felon, but you can't. I don't think you can be in prison.
Like during your presidency, or to get elected to the presidency.
Probably both. I don't think you could run a successful campaign from prison, for one thing.
I mean, I know the inquiry in my mind is, can't they just pardon themselves if they didn't make it? But isn't that
you can only pardon yourself from federal things,
right? I was gonna say, isn't that kind of the situation that's going on now with Trump, and people are questioning whether he'd be able to pardon himself if things came up in certain ways?
Well, like if he committed some crime in New York, he couldn't pardon his state crimes, for example. Only the federal crimes. People in my mind, the voices in my mind are saying that someone can run from prison. I still feel that I don't want to believe those voices in my head.
I've never seen anything that states that you can't, but I've never researched it, so I really have.
Well, yeah, I don't think it really comes up. I don't think it really comes up, but I mean, hell, the rate things are going, we're gonna elect a fucking digital Twitter user to president before you know it.
A digital Twitter user?
But I mean, someone that's not even real. Fucking AI is gonna win presidency, and then we're gonna realize he's not even real.
God, it'd probably be so much better than some of the presidents that we've had.
I don't know. You remember Tay, the Microsoft bot?
Tay?
You don't remember Tay?
No, I remember Sam. Or
I think it was
Clippy.
Tay. I think it was Tay. What was? Well, last year, or maybe it was 2 years ago, Microsoft released a Twitter bot that was AI that would was to showcase machine learning. It was going to take what it could find on the internet and interact with people that DM or chat with it. And maybe it was also through Skype that you could chat with it. There was multiple places you could chat with this bot, and it would tweet.
It would twit.
It would tweet things based on what it had learned. Within 24 hours, it was tweeting things
racist?
like, yes, very racist.
I do remember. I didn't know it was called Tay.
I think that was her name.
Yeah, I'm
pretty sure
that
it was
one
Tay.
that became the bot that became racist immediately.
Yeah. Which I guess isn't that far off from our current president, so maybe that's not a bad thing. Maybe it's okay. I remember Clippy.
Clippy was the closest to AI we had back then. Clippy was like, I see you're trying to save a document. We moved the save button to somewhere you'd never find it. Ask me how to find it.
They should bring Clippy back.
They definitely should. I mean, Clippy was amazing in every way. They could probably make Clippy actually better nowadays. With like machine learning and stuff, Clippy could probably be useful. Oh, stupid spider. No, you're hurting me. The spider is like going to town on me. Jesus, down to 3 hearts.
God, if you died in there, that'd be awful.
All my stuff would just be like in chests somewhere. I guess the best part about it is that you wouldn't lose it. You just would have to
wouldn't lose
it.
anything. Yeah.
It would just be somewhere. Where that somewhere is, heaven only knows. Yeah, Clippy has a new name. It's Cortana. That is very, very, very true, and that just came to me, like like a revelation.
Like a revelation.
Cortana. You don't have iPhones, right?
Yeah.
That stupid Android.
I mean, I do have a I mean, Cortana's on all our desktops now too, though.
Yeah. Cortana's on the desktop, but we have now the new Androids all have Bixby, which I think is supposed to take on Siri or whatever it is, but it's terrible. Like, they gave Bixby a dedicated button to launch Bixby with on my phone, and it's right below the volume down key. So all I do is hit it on accident. I never want to hit the stupid Bixby button because I don't care. I can say "Okay, Google" and ask my phone anything, and it just actually is waking up saying yes, go on. But then there's Bixby as well. It doesn't make any sense. Like, Android has the OK Google platform, and then it has, or the Google Assistant, whatever they call it, and then it has Bixby on the side. But I don't know what it does that's supposed to be special. It's just freaking annoying.
When did this happen? I've never heard of Bixby. Who the fuck picked that name?
I got this phone and it's got Bixby. And one of the reviews I read of this phone said the most infuriating thing about this phone is that you will constantly accidentally hit the Bixby button. And I was like, what the fuck's a Bixby button?
I don't know what that is. I guess I'll buy the phone.
But now I understand what it is. So, Bixby.
Which phone do you have?
It's the Galaxy Note 9. So the new
apparently
Note,
this Bixby is a Samsung thing, not an Android thing.
Oh.
So Samsung's to blame for Bixby.
Samsungs that are all Android phones have decided to
but there's other Android phones that don't have Bixby, I guess is the thought here.
Yeah,
like
but
Google's
what would be the
Pixel
point? Why would
doesn't.
Samsung be trying to take on, like, Google Assistant? It just doesn't seem like...
Who the fuck knows what their long-term plans are, right?
Yeah, I mean, my phone is a Samsung phone, so... Oh, I just fell. So that doesn't...
I mean, maybe they want it on other Samsung devices, too. Like, like your Samsung TVs and shit. Got fucking Bixby here.
Oh, that's true. Oh, God, that'll be really freaking annoying when that happens. I will tell you, I have Android Auto in my car, and, man, just having the Google Assistant, being able to do all the shit that I can do at home with my Google Home is amazing. I can pull in and tell it to, like, unlock the doors or whatever I can do.
That's cool. I think I adopted home automation too early, and it's a lot way cooler now.
What do you have that's home automated that you think is too?
Well, I
in its
don't have a lot of
infancy, I guess?
stuff. I mean, but mostly just cameras and that sort of thing. But then I have I have competing systems too, kind of.
Okay.
But like, I have like the I think I've told you about some of this stuff before. Like if I spring a leak in my water heater or whatever, I'll get an alert on my phone if there's ever water or damage in that where I have the little.
I have a water sensor that we keep in the basement, and granted, I think it's too far away from the hub because it constantly loses connection. But,
And I have like the things on all the doors and windows that like text me if a door or window is opened or whatever.
That doesn't seem too far ahead because that's the same stuff.
But well, the thing is, the system
recently just installed.
Well, the system they're part of isn't getting new things anymore, basically. And some of it I had to getify with like my own like creation, like my own little server and stuff. So I don't know. It's
so you were doing if this then that before if this then that was a thing.
Kind of, yeah. Which I never used that site before.
Well, it's not really a site per se. It's a concept of.
Well, there's one site that does this. Like,
I guess there is a major site that most of the things are hooked up to. But
I mean, I only got into all this shit because I got doxxed. I had people showing up at my fucking house.
So you're like,
and I was worried. Yeah, I wanted constant recording of every angle of my house. My daughter hates it. She's like, I don't like this camera in my room.
Yeah, inside too.
Yeah, I have cameras in every room.
My parents have that as well inside, and I'm all about like, I don't know. I'm okay with some inside cameras, but sometimes when I'm at their house, I'm like, I don't like just staring at this camera as I'm sitting there watching TV.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like whenever I would go away to conventions and stuff too, I would like check in and see what was going on here. I don't know. I liked it. I don't know. I could see the pros and cons. I do know that she ain't never sneaking out in the middle of the night to go see her boyfriend.
You know how we used to do the tricks with, put the pillows under the mattress, put the card behind the door, so when you sneak back in the window, if somebody came in to check on you, if it was like knocked over and all that stuff. They're going to just learn different methods of doing that stuff, you realize. It's going to be like full-blown holograms that are projected into the bed. So when you look at the camera, it looks like they're sleeping. And
right. I mean, just opening the window is going to trigger the alarm, so you have to make sure you can like get around that. I'm sure there'll be a way, but I mean, I'm not going to make it easy for her.
Or you just make her learn to do it like appropriately so that she can be a hacker in the future. Oops, I broke some glass.
It's funny in high school, like because I bought the trailer I lived in when I was 16, and Crystal was allowed to come over and stay at my house during the day. But if the sun was down, she had to go home. And I was always like, they know there ain't no parents here. It don't need to be nighttime for us to fuck. Like, what's the logic here?
Children in high school don't have sex during the day.
It was always weird.
It's like they're vampires.
Of course, then we had sex way too much one time.
Gets hard.
Yeah, she had to ask her mom, like, "Is it supposed to burn like this?" So they definitely knew that we were active at that point.
It's supposed to burn like this.
Yeah, we had like sex like 9 times in one day.
That's called gonorrhea, sir. Oh, that's terrible.
Hopefully my daughter never watches these videos. It just dawned on me.
You know that she's going to one day. Look at the legacy of dad. And it's going to be really funny. Your grandparents, people always talk about, my grandpa used to tell me stories of what happened in the war. And, everybody takes their word for, like, gospel. Though most of it's probably all completely, like, fabricated or at least, elaborated in some way, shape, or form. And in our future, it's going to be, I watched my dad's video talk about getting gonorrhea.
At least I've never had an STD, and I'm glad for that.
It just burned a lot. They just never diagnosed it, but which is funny because they don't really diagnose that stuff much anymore.
What do you mean?
It's like the emergency department. If you came in as a male, even a female, a lot of times with the symptoms of standard gonorrhea, chlamydia, the burning when you pee type of deal, having unprotected sex or whatever, we didn't test you for it. They gave you antibiotics because the symptoms all fit and it was much cheaper. Why bother going through the test when whether it's gonorrhea or whether it's a UTI or whatever it is, the treatment's the same. So there's no point in that. They would just say, you most likely have an STD. You should be safe, and here's some antibiotics, like type of deal. You didn't test.
Shit, I'd want to know for sure.
Well, why? Most people don't actually.
Well, for me, it would be to know if I suddenly got gonorrhea and I'm only sleeping with one person. Like, I want to know if it's urinary tract infection or gonorrhea, because if I suddenly got gonorrhea,
a lot of the clientele that we got were not only sleeping with one person. It's not like. It's not like
well, in my
they
case,
came in
if I'm
for
sleeping with
marriage
one
counseling
person
at the emergency department.
Right. Well, I guess we're out of time again.
Well, all right, guys.
Have you been digging this whole time?
I've been digging this whole time. Yes, I'm trying to clean up some. If you're getting lag, I'm cleaning up the.
No, I'm not. I was just wondering because I've just been placing walls this whole time.
No, I've been digging just slowly.
Yeah, I'm trying to get all the walls done to the point that we're at, so that I can start planting and actually harvesting what we have to get more seeds. So, anyways, thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See ya.